Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire. So last episode, we managed to weaponize a cave area where there used to be an ancient danger, so that if there's an insect spawn, it will be likely occurring here, and also setting it up so that the insects burn. We also have Larry here, who's in a bit of an ugly mental state, and I'm hoping to be able to Words of Serenity him or something like that. We're now past the deep winter, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be warm anytime soon, so we still have to make sure that our guys here aren't staying outside for extended periods of time. Hosting Larry is a benefit to Storbeck, so Storbeck is going to attempt to keep that door intact. I also installed a love enhancer here into Raptor, and I think the other love enhancer I'm making, I'll probably put into Gabe to keep Gabe and Leth together instead of Hippie. All right, Storbeck, you are just temporarily swapped out so that Phoenix can bring this up to 100%, and then you'll be swapped back in. So some other prep I'd like to do, or other projects I should say, is I'm going to continue mining. I don't think that there's a high likelihood I find anything really nice in these caves. That's not going to be for lack of trying. So let's continue our mining tunnels. And one of the other benefits of this is it increases the total volume of this bug trap. So the benefit of that is that if bugs are to spawn, they're likely going to spawn in one room rather than hop into multiples. The penalties, the deficits would be that if I am trying to heat stroke them down, because the total volume of the room goes up, it becomes a little bit more challenging to properly heat stroke the bugs. So there's the love enhancer. JD is now going to start working on corsets. Raptor is trying to get his Words of Serenity up. So the side focus cost of Words of Serenity are as follows. A minor break would be 30%, a major break 50%, and an extreme break, which Berserk is an extreme break, 70%. So if I want to get Larry to stop fighting me, I'm going to have to sit on this throne for basically an entire day building up my side focus. Yes, one could make the argument that a Psychic Shock Lance is probably the easier approach, but I'd like to keep them for emergency uses. You know, my Words of Serenity is renewable, technically, and the Shock Lance is not. They're a one-shot. So I've made my decision. I'm going to try to Words of Serenity him. Of course, this also means that the people in my colony will have to continually repair this door until Raptor is ready to stop him. And Raptor's currently woozy with anesthesia, so, you know, he's probably not building up side focus as fast as he could. All right, JD, swap in. And Storbeck. Here's a bed for you. How sleepy? Oh, you're sleepy. Okay. So someone else will take over the night shift here, I think. Maybe Bash. It's actually not so much a night shift because you're it's the day shift. You're a night owl. All right, Raptor. Okay, you're busy puking. Understandable. The faster you can build up your side focus, the better. Now, if he did escape, there's a lot of other ways to deal with this, which would be to lance him, to brawl him. You know, it's not... I'm just trying to keep him alive for Storbeck's sake of honor. So other little projects that we ought to do is think more critically about how to deal with high volumes of enemies. The kill box I have designed or built here, I will freely say, is not ideal. It's mostly because I laid it out with all of the resources I had at the time. It was a very resource restrictive, slowly growing over time kill box, and as a result, it's not highly efficient like some of the other kill boxes I've made in the past. And I do somewhat worry about its longevity in the in-game reactor raids. With that said, any suggestion to redesign it, you have to realize that breaking anything down and moving anything is extraordinarily cost inefficient, and it's better to bolster its defensive capabilities rather than try to fully redesign it, because if let's say we tried to do a full redesign and a giant raid came where we had no kill box because we were redesigning it, that could be a colony ending event. And that's something that I'd imagine that you all probably want to avoid. So there's a lot of like tricky little tactics and things like that I can try to employ to avoid having the kill box overrun entirely. But the real worry is that if we have a significant amount of scythers or Reaper brawlers, that could really do in the kill box, because this kill box is not really well designed for either of those scenarios. However, with that said, I can fortify the kill box to be better against those two specific scenarios, and that's what I'm going to work towards. So one thing that might help is turrets sort of behind the kill box to fire in from the other side, so that I can juggle brawlers back and forth. That's a pretty useful thing to be able to do. My lord, does he ever want out. Silly berserks. So here we go. We are also mining these tunnels to see if we could find any... really, uranium is all that we're kind of looking for, because we have all of this gold here that we're going to be able to mine once this that cluster's gone. So with all that gold, it's really just uranium that we're lacking. I guess plasteel too. Plasteel will be nice, but the likelihood of finding plasteel or uranium in these tunnels is pretty close to zero. Okay, Raptor's just about crossing the 50% threshold for Words of Serenity. So 20% more, and he'll be all set to prevent Larry from self-harm. Because even a shock lance comes with the risk of brain damage, and brawling him comes with the risk of permanent damage and or death. So Words of Serenity is the most, how should we say, ethical solution, or the one with the lowest chance of negative consequences, something like that. So that's why I'm trying to do it. Storbeck, where are you? Here. This is your prisoner, essentially. Although you did give up your bedroom for this, so we'll have you tap in here. It's a pretty long path in order to get here, I realize. One of the things that I could do to speed this up, you know, I'm not really certain I want to dig a path between here. Never mind. One of the benefits of a long path like that is if it's a long path for me, it's also a long path for an insect to get to me. So it does offer me a little bit of protection if it's difficult to move to me. So we're almost at the psi focus threshold. And Storbeck it's a perfect matchup where he's just barely able to out-repair Larry. Maybe he can't even out-repair Larry, but it requires a lot less micromanaging. which is nice. In fact, it might be possible to not even use Serenity and just keep going with what we've got. God, look at this mess. So let's see if we can get, oh yeah, Berserk come to an end. Perfect. Starbeck is going to do some cleaning and repairing. Ooh, struck compacted machinery. Well, that's something. I don't really need more components. So I'm actually not going to mine them out. Oh, but there we go. Uranium ore. That's what I'm talking about right there. Caucasus needing help. A yeoman of the United Cities is fleeing a troubling political situation and wants to hide at landfall for 22 days. I have to keep his mood up. Okay. Sure, I guess. Except for honor for Storbeck yet again. And you are staggeringly ugly and too smart. Oh boy, that is not a good combination. Is a yeoman, just like Storbeck. You are going to be given this bed next to Storbeck. Actually, Phoenix, give up your bed. I'm sorry to say, but I have to keep the mood up, so you'll have a barracks with Storbeck. And then for you, you're going to be stuck inside. Now, one of the problems is, now that I don't have a telescope to be able to... Here, what I could do is I could put the horseshoe pin outside. So unless we have a reason to go outside, people that are stuck inside will never really step out. So if I put the horseshoe pin outside, the likelihood of us getting like critical hypothermia while we're out there is pretty low. I'm sending Leth and Gabe back inside because it is getting too cold. So it has a benefit of triggering people to walk outside so that they lose their like trapped indoors mood penalties. Leth, could you stay inside for a second? Or in fact, because it is so cold, so wickedly cold, I'm going to cancel the mining here. And then you guys will deep drill the jade. Just because it looks like it's... we're still digging it. Oh, yeah. Looks like you guys are insistent on continuing to mine. Alright, so another thing I need to do is Kalka here will do work, and I don't really want her to do work. I'm assuming it's a her, given the haircut, yeah. So stop trying to warden, it's not your job. And a transporter crash. A shuttle, wow, so many quests all in a row. A shuttle of United Cities has taken damage, seeking a place to land. Commander Dean wants it to land it. So here's the issue. It's too cold. I would love to accept this, but there's absolutely no way that the occupants are going to survive. So what it would be is it would be me essentially dooming 7 people to death for shuttle loot. And because I've made the determination that I'm going to try to be a good ally, that is not an acceptable loss. You know, dooming people. It's the same reason why I didn't just run in there and bash Larry to death. I'm trying to be, it's harder to be benevolent. It's harder to be nice in RimWorld. And I'm trying to be nice both for the challenge and for the fact that we're living with a thin thread keeping us from life to death, and allies are important. So I'm going to try to treat the allies well. Not just gaming the game mechanics so that they like me, but actually treating them well. So Raptor's getting his Psi Focus up, as is Hippie, ready for the next surge. Cal, I need to set you up for the right meals. I don't want you eating my nice meals, even though I have to keep your mood up. I think just being around Raptor will keep your mood up. Because being around... Oh, here we go. Raid of Reapers. So we have a large group of sappers, but they did spawn with us, with the mechanoids sort of in the way. But I'm willing to bet that the mechanoids will lose. This is a lot of enemies. One thing I'd like to do, it's not going to offer me a ton of protection. But I'm going to place barricades here. Yeah, I'm going to place barricades here and then eventually mine this out so I have a little bit more ability to kill things. And then Bash, when you run over here, bring the... Oh, it's not in the zone. Leth and Gabe mine up that metal, just so that we can have a bunch of shooters shooting up. So they do have frag grenades, which is obviously a dangerous thing to allow a sapper to use with our delicate setups. Why are you guys... Why would you... Why on earth is that the fastest path? Oh my god, that's so dumb. The pathfinding of RimWorld has always been frustrating, and they just demoed it. Instead of walking through this open corridor, they walked through here. I'm just gonna forbid that door so they don't ever do that again, because that was ridiculous. Alright, so we're setting up our gunners so that we're ready for Ava. Ava here has big old grenades, and yeah, these guys are overrunning. They're overrunning my defenses pretty quickly, or not defenses, the mech cluster. No surprise. I figured that was going to be the case. All right, so that is gone. I have a bunch of shooters waiting for Ava to come in. My rep with the United Cities has gone up as a result. That's cool, but only, you know, if I'm able to pull in a trade caravan. Bash took a ridiculously long time getting granite blocks, which sucks. All right, so their sapper is dead. I'm actually going to open this door for them. How did Phoenix... Oh, because Phoenix has the shock lance still. Yeah, okay. I forgot to slap on a shield belt for him. All right, so let's get out of here. All right, so this here... Bash, you're too slow. This here opens up the kill tunnel here. And I'm going to get everyone at the end of it because these guys are just going to be walking through. Bash, stop what you're doing and turn around. And now these sappers, for some reason or another, and I'm not really sure why, they perceive the traps, the deadfall traps, to then be not desirable to be passable. And then they stop and sort of turn around and clog up one another, which is kind of great. It's like ideal. That sometimes they try to go through, sometimes they don't. And as you can see, they're sort of teleporting around and then they stop, and yeah. And even Accidental Aggro, who was going to be the first one through this maze here, stopped and yeah. They don't know what they're doing. It's kind of glorious. It is, in a way, hacking their AI so that they don't know how to respond. So, Kalka, you have an excellent Biocoated Plasma Sword. Okay, so that's... You could probably defend yourself, but I still worry about using it. So here's one of the... No, I think these guys are probably well insulated enough they don't need to constantly going inside. So yeah, these sappers don't really know what they're doing, as you can see. They're just, pacing. Okay, here comes Aggro and Nutto. Now, as you can see, I've obviously... Oh, we're getting shot at. I'm sort of luring the enemies down. Aggro. So let's spin up the mini turrets for Aggro and get JD to fall back so he doesn't get clipped by accidental friendly fire. All right, Leth, no more taunting. And then we'll try to keep the mini turrets alive. Now the brawlers that they're sending in do just a heck of a lot of damage. So here we go. The clog has been cleared, and I'm gonna want my shooters back here somewhere. Bash and Phoenix switched gear. You must be nimble, because you got through all this pretty... Yep, you're nimble. Pretty quickly. And more are filtering in, but slowly. Raptor, I don't want you doing that. Stay, in fact, stay truly truly inside, because it's too cold out here. Okay, interestingly enough, he turned around. Keep my turrets from exploding. All right, could this guy please commit? Oh my God, you're not going to commit to anything. All right. Luring in the shooters a little bit closer now. And then once they get in close enough, in fact, there needs to be a human bait target here. So let's put one in. Once they get close enough, I'm going to spin up even the larger turrets. So I'm going to line up my shooters to do as much damage to these brawlers as I can. Because it looks like the brawlers have committed. So here we go. Hello, trespassers. Enjoy big turret fire. I wish they didn't hide behind my plasma turrets, because the plasma turrets nearly die as a result. Come on, one more volley. There we go. All right. No one else is inside this tunnel here. So I'm going to have Phoenix and Bash commit to coming outside. A lot of their shooters, a lot of their snipers here have long-range weapons, so I have to constantly turn them off. Gabe, actually all of these shooters, get warm real quick. Oh no, here they come again. It's funny, all the brawlers are going through the tunnel, and all the shooters are going into the turrets. It's kind of great, in fact. So Let just lost her hypothermia. Let's get back out there and turn these off. Try to bring them in closer. Closer. Stop shooting my, stupid. All right, hippie. There goes another. See, they don't really know what to do. They're just sort of standing around, so I'm just going to be turning on the autocannons, killing them, and then turning them off. I want to bring in the shooters close to Bash and Phoenix here. Who's starving? Gabe, go eat. No, I kind of need you out here. Someone have a meal? Yeah, JD, you have a meal for him. All right, here we go. They're close enough now. On and on. So we can still skip them. We just can't use other sidecasts against them. So that's going to be the challenge. Good. All right, there's only 2 left as far as I could tell. All my shooters can return. My brothers are actually going to... Let's just go out and smush the rest. Because they both have long guns. Tesla and Cot. Tesla, how you feeling? Ho, smash-o. All right, good job, everybody. So that was the Sapper Tunnel, absolutely working exactly to spec. I could not be more pleased. Reapers are very physically... Oh, wow, and you were probably on Goat Juice. Very physically tough. At this point, I can now have everyone unrestricted because the mech cluster is gone. And that means we can affect a lot of repairs. We just have to be very, very careful about hypothermia, because it would be very easy for us to be way out of bounds and frozen to death. But yeah, so far so good. That worked out. Looks like Phoenix lost a shirt. One of the things I could do, in fact, is for shirts, button-down shirts, I'm going to make button-down shirts forever out of the Leviathan chitin, because it's a very durable leather that will keep me protected. My guest here has considerable psychic harmony. Are you... interesting. I'm kind of not entirely sure, is it gear? Why Raptor's harmony isn't really more effective. Oh no, it's maximum effective. Never mind, I take it back. Some of my colonists need treatment. JD, I'm going to have to wake you up. So that there was a rather large sapping group, and we dealt with them pretty well. So what I'm going to need to do here is when Raptor wakes up, I'm going to hook him up with good insulating stuff, because he is now going to be responsible for butchering up the Reapers. And I can't have him freezing to death outside as he does that. I'm very happy about finding that uranium, though. That was a important find. Makes me feel like I can rely a little bit more on slug turrets. Oh, wow. Okay, Randy. Okay, Randy. All right. All right. I dig it. He's probably just giving me uranium because he's like, all right, you know what I'm going to do to you? I'm going to make you need this. But hey, you know, whatever. Okay, that was a pretty quick heal. Raptor's now in good clothing. And now I'm going to be micromanaging him to get rid of all these reap corpses. Keeping a close eye on Gabe's hypothermia. The volcanic winter really making it difficult to stay warm. Because normally by December 13th, we wouldn't be getting hypothermia outside, but, well, that's just not the case. All right, Phoenix is fully healed. That's good. Doesn't hurt that his bedroom bed happens to also be a hospital bed. Okay, we're shivering, but our hypothermia buildup is basically nil. The only problem with Raptor being all the way out here is that as he is out here, his infectious mood can't benefit. You know, hold on. Can't benefit everybody that's in the colony because he's not close by. So some improvements I could make to this setup. I could have defensive capabilities. What I should do, and what I will do, is to have ways to slow down sappers, maybe adding additional traps in this corridor and then having cover here. But I'm probably not going to redesign that until this snow melts, because it's going to be really hard to figure out what terrain I can build on and what I can't unless I shovel the snow. Maybe I can just shovel the snow, who knows. But that's something I'm going to wait for. And then possibly add some more traps, because as you can see, the Reapers are very, very hardy, and it takes a lot of traps to bring them down. Far more than typical humans. They have about double the durability. How's the pet food? Okay, 45. It's low, but it's not low enough that I need to do anything about it just yet. Guest unhappy. Because you're cold. Well, stay in the base. Problem solved. Here, I'm gonna have her consume a lavish meal so that I don't fail the mission. And then Raptor, you're gonna go rest. But good job. And then Raptor's mood will help spill over to Calcaceres and keep her happier. As you can see, Psychic Harmony helps a bit. If I really wanted to be helpful, another thing I might be able to do is to install some statues into her bedroom, at least temporarily. Of course, these statues are eventually going to be for sale. I'm curious, though, if the benefit of installing the statues outweighs the cramped negativities of filling a bedroom full of stuff. I suppose we'll see. A masterwork cloth corset. Awesome. I cannot wait to sell these because I have 29 of them. Sebastian Phoenix are putting the Deadfall traps back. The reason I have these spare Deadfall traps is mostly for the reactor raid when we won't have time to rebuild. Because in the reactor raids, you get hit by you get hit by raids over and over and over and over, pummeling you, which means we won't have time to like haul out steel and rebuild or anything like that. So that's why I'm building them now, but then I have spares for when we need them. Because there's no sense of urgency in this case. All right, let's move this here. Another thing that I obviously could do is to machine up all these mechanoids. There's a lot of good stuff here. And at this point, I'm also going to unrestrict my my Gorillos, because it's not hypothermic death for Gorillos at the current temperature. They can survive at about a negative 100. Where's my Gorillos? Yeah, actually, yeah, negative 95, but close enough. Cal apparently needs a meditation spot. Easily granted. And yeah, this bedroom got slightly better with the statues. Not very much, because of course we are making it cramped as we are adding statues. But slightly impressive is going to be somewhat helpful. Now, with everybody completely unrestricted, we should start to see hauling of slag and plasteel again. Because plasteel is now going to be somewhat of a limiting resource until I find a more underground minerals for it. I should probably grab that Luciferium. I'm gonna let Raptor come back inside with the Lucy. There's a lot of Reapers out here. 17 more. Okay, the eclipse has ended. Almost in spring. Not that it means anything, given the current temperatures. And she's sad wandering. Really? Your mood was... Oh, come on. Her mood was above break... Alright, fine. Yep. It's one way to get a bio... Well, it's bio-coded, so it's not useful for anyone else. But obviously her mood is going to climb as a result. And then here's one other thing we could do. Well, she's unconscious, so I'm not going to give her any like mood modifiers. But I'm going to forbid that sword so we don't melt it. So that'd be unfortunate. God, that's a lot of jade. They're mining up pretty quick. So Larry, 9 more days, and Calc, 19 more days. Kind of a long time on Calc. But that Harmony... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I was going to keep her up for a minute and give her a lavish meal. Now, the last 2 days are what is really calculated as far as mood goes. So as long as she doesn't drop below her mood requirements, she'll be okay. It might be worth giving her... Do I have a good toque? Yeah, here we go. I'm going to give her a good toque. Just to keep her a little bit warmer. And Larry with the medical... Oh, God. because Raptor has not been feeding him. That's a bit of a problem. Thank you, emergency notifier. Yes, so because Raptor has been out here shredding Reapers, he hasn't been doing the proper wardening. So, Storbeck, how about you step it up and become the warden? That's, that was unfortunate. I should not have let that happen. It's kind of funny. Little fun, barely funny. Other things that I could do for Larry there is to try to improve his room too, so that, you know, his prison cell is not so dismal. This, I think, is going to be the last... Oh, you know, I didn't mean to do that. Shirts. This is probably going to be the last corset I make, because my cloth... No, actually, my cloth quantity is good enough for, like, 3 more. And here's the really good chitin shirts. I really hope that they... Oh, masterwork. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to force Phoenix to grab that one. Gonna have Raptor do an operation just in this royal bed. Please don't screw up. Cool. Calc is now at max mood. Oh, Calc, let's give you your biocoded sword back. It literally doesn't help me at all. The stay inside zone here is going to extend out to this horseshoe pin so that we can use it. And that will allow us to spend some time outside. Raptor, I'm gonna have you go butcher again. Most of the ash is settled. Oh, so it's gonna get warmer quicker. The volcanic winter is done. Hippie making a masterwork jade. That's great. What is it, of a chicken? The art here. This sculpture bears a portrayal of a gorilla holding her baby. Oh boy, I know what this is going to be. Oh god. A gorilla who is bloody and crying. A politician's, nice. Watches from a distance. The image contrasts emptiness with emptiness. That's not, okay. This art makes no sense whatsoever. It is surrealistic art, I guess. It's apoliticians and contrasting emptiness with emptiness. I think that probably portrays me butchering a gorilla. That'd be my guess. It's not my not the finest of things that I end up doing on this year Rim colony, but it's for survival. So there is still this machinist here I have not forgotten about. All right, Raptor, you're done for now. Ooh, leaving a meal out there. That's not great. Let's haul the plasteel in. So this machinist here, I could bury. We do have a tomb here. I don't know. I don't really have a crematorium, so well, I'll think of something. That's a long way to go for a simple meal. Bash, you should probably start cooking. Looks like we allowed our simple meals to get down to 0 and Gabe ran, or not Gabe, JD ran all the way out here for a simple meal, which is absurd. But that is all the time I have. So I hope you have liked my response to the Giant Sapper raid. It was very cool that the traps have worked perfectly time and time again, so I'm excited that that will be a way to protect myself going forward. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.